Most people underestimate the weight of a single decision, not because the decision itself is insignificant, but because they don't realize what lies beneath it: clarity. Without clarity, you are like a traveler with no map, wandering in circles, mistaking movement for progress. You wake up, you rush, you fill your hours, yet at the end of the day you collapse into bed and wonder why it still feels like something is missing. That missing piece is not more time, more effort, or even more talent. It is clarity. Clarity is the ability to know what truly matters and to strip away everything that does not. Imagine two people starting their morning. One begins with urgency, checking messages, scrolling, reacting to the world before even deciding who they want to be that day. The other begins with stillness. They take a breath, write down their priorities, visualize their goals, and enter the day with a mind sharpened like a blade. Both may face the same challenges, but their outcomes will be worlds apart. The first person is pulled by circumstances, the second is guided by intention. What we often forget is that the human mind is not naturally clear. It is noisy, cluttered, and reactive. It leaps from thought to thought, emotion to emotion, endlessly distracted. Left unchecked, it operates like a wild horse, running fast but without direction. Clarity is the act of taking the reins. It is slowing down enough to ask the question, what am I really moving toward? If you cannot answer this question, then your actions, no matter how intense, will scatter like arrows shot into the wind. There is a psychological truth here worth remembering. The brain craves certainty. When you lack clarity, your brain fills the void with anxiety, doubt, and hesitation. That is why confusion feels so exhausting, not because you are doing too much, but because you are carrying the weight of indecision. Yet when you create clarity, even the most difficult tasks feel lighter. You know what must be done, and that certainty transforms stress into focus and hesitation into action. Philosophically, clarity is alignment. It is the harmony between your values, your goals, and your daily actions. When these three are out of sync, life feels fragmented. You may work hard, but it feels empty. You may chase success, but it leaves you unfulfilled. But when values, goals, and actions align, even small steps feel meaningful, because they are leading you toward a destination that resonates deeply with who you are. So how do we cultivate clarity in practical terms? It is not a complicated ritual, it is a conscious discipline. Begin your morning with a simple but profound question. If I could accomplish only one thing today that would truly matter, what would it be? Write it down. Keep it visible. Let it shape your choices. This act may take only 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes hold the power to direct the other 23 hours and 55 minutes of your day. Clarity also demands courage, because once you know what matters most, you must confront everything that doesn't. Distractions, obligations, even people. Clarity exposes them. And when you see clearly, you can no longer hide behind excuses. This is why so many avoid clarity, because it requires responsibility. If I do not know where I am going, I can justify staying where I am. But once I see the path, standing still becomes unbearable. Reflect for a moment, how many times in your life have you worked tirelessly, only to realize later that your effort was misplaced? It is not effort that brings transformation, it is directed effort. One arrow shot with precision is worth more than 1,000 arrows scattered blindly. Clarity is that precision. And so, the invitation is simple yet demanding. Take time each day to pause, to define, to choose deliberately. Do not mistake activity for progress. Do not confuse urgency with importance. Life is not measured by how much we do, but by whether what we do moves us closer to the life we are meant to live. Because in the end, clarity is not just about setting goals or writing plans. It is about awakening to the truth that your time, your focus, your energy are limited and precious. To live without clarity is to waste them. To live with clarity is to honor them. And when you honor them, you honor your life. So I leave you with this thought each morning. You are given the gift of a blank page. Will you let the world write your story, or will you write it yourself with clarity, intention, and purpose? The choice is yours, and so is the life that follows. If clarity is the compass that points us in the right direction, then the dialogue we carry within ourselves is the voice that tells us whether we can walk that path or not. And the truth is, most people lose not because they lack ability, but because they lose the battle in their own mind long before they even take the first step. We are speaking constantly, though often not aloud. From the moment we open our eyes to the moment we fall asleep, a voice inside comments, judges, doubts, encourages, or criticizes. This inner dialogue shapes everything we do. If you wake up and your mind whispers, "You're not ready, you're not capable, today will be hard," your body will move under the weight of that story. But if your mind says, "This day is mine to shape, I will face what comes with strength," you step into the same challenges, yet they feel entirely different. Psychologists remind us that the brain cannot distinguish fully between what is imagined and what is real. That means the words you repeat inside yourself have the power to create your reality. If your dialogue is filled with defeat, your actions will unconsciously align with that script. You will hesitate, sabotage yourself, or shrink when opportunity arrives. But when your dialogue is filled with belief, courage, and determination, you begin to walk differently, speak differently, and respond differently. We underestimate the influence of a single phrase repeated daily. I can't do this. I don't deserve success. It's too late for me. These are not harmless thoughts. They are seeds, and seeds always grow. With time, they become beliefs, and beliefs become identity. Once you identify with failure, no amount of external encouragement can save you. Likewise, when you internalize, I am capable, I am resilient, I am growing, that too becomes identity. And identity is powerful because we live consistently with who we believe ourselves to be. Philosophically, mastering inner dialogue is about reclaiming authorship of your own narrative. Too often the voice in our head is not truly ours. It is the echo of old criticism, past rejection, or cultural conditioning. Someone once told you that you were not good enough, and now, years later, you repeat their voice as if it were your own. Mastery begins when you separate what is truly your belief from what was merely handed to you. This is an act of freedom, refusing to let borrowed voices write your destiny. But mastery does not mean forcing the mind to always be positive. That is unrealistic. It means becoming aware of the dialogue, questioning it, and choosing what to keep. When your mind says, "This is too difficult," instead of accepting it blindly, you pause and ask, "Too difficult compared to what? And how do I know unless I try?" In that moment, you are no longer a prisoner of the voice, you are its master. Practically, this requires training. Just as muscles grow with repetition, the mind reshapes through daily practice. One of the most powerful ways is through intentional self-talk. Speak to yourself with the same encouragement you would give a close friend. If your friend fell, you would not say, "You are worthless." You would say, "Stand up, you're stronger than this." Yet we rarely extend such kindness to ourselves. Begin today. Replace criticism with coaching, judgment with guidance, and fear with faith. Another practice is visualization combined with language. Before stepping into a challenge, close your eyes and see yourself succeeding. Then affirm it with words. I can handle this. I am prepared. This is not empty motivation, it is conditioning. The brain, hearing it and seeing it, starts to believe it. And when belief changes, behavior follows. There will always be moments when doubt enters, when the inner voice whispers against you. Do not fear this. Instead, recognize it as part of being human. The goal is not silence but sovereignty. You will still hear the voice, but you will no longer obey it without question. And when you reach that point, your inner world becomes a source of strength, not sabotage. Because ultimately the greatest victories are not won on the stage, in the office, or in the marketplace. They are won in the quiet, invisible arena of the mind. Master your inner dialogue and you master your life. So let me leave you with a challenge. Tonight, when the day ends and the mind begins to wander, listen carefully to the words you speak inside yourself. Ask, if this voice continues to lead me for the next 5 years, where will it take me? If the answer is somewhere you don't wish to go, then the time to rewrite your inner dialogue is not tomorrow. It is now. We often speak about success as if it begins only in the mind, as though clarity and inner dialogue alone are enough. But the truth is, the body is the stage upon which the mind performs. If your body is weak, neglected, or without discipline, then the sharpest thoughts and the strongest intentions will eventually collapse under the weight of fatigue. To master life, you must also master the vessel through which you live it. Think of it this way: your body is not separate from your mind. They are two sides of the same coin, constantly influencing one another. When the body feels sluggish, the mind follows. When the body is energized, the mind awakens. Yet many people treat their body as an afterthought, as if it is simply there to carry them from one meeting to another, rather than the very foundation upon which their clarity and inner dialogue rest. Philosophically, discipline of the body is an act of respect. It is saying, I honor the gift of life by caring for the form through which I experience it. Neglect is easy. To eat without thought, to move without intention, to rest without rhythm. But neglect creates decay, and decay slowly steals not only our health but also our spirit. Discipline, on the other hand, is demanding, yet it produces strength, and strength is the soil where resilience grows. When I speak of discipline, I do not mean a rigid pursuit of physical perfection. I mean the daily decision to train the body so that it becomes an ally rather than an obstacle. It may be as simple as moving with purpose each morning, strengthening your breath, stretching your muscles, or raising your heartbeat. These small acts remind your mind that you are not fragile, you are not passive, you are capable of enduring, of growing, of pushing beyond what you believed possible. There is a psychological truth here: when you command your body, you train your will. Every time you push yourself through one more repetition, one more step, one more moment of discomfort, you are reinforcing the muscle of discipline. And this muscle is not limited to physical exercise. It extends into every corner of life. The same willpower that carries you through a difficult workout is the willpower that will carry you through difficult conversations, bold decisions, and moments of doubt. Most people underestimate the symbolic nature of physical training. When you challenge your body, you are teaching yourself that discomfort is not danger. Too often, people retreat at the first sign of struggle because they have trained their minds to equate difficulty with failure. But when the body becomes accustomed to exertion, the mind learns that struggle is simply part of growth. You stop fearing resistance and instead you welcome it. Let me ask you, how many opportunities have been lost not because of lack of knowledge or talent, but simply because the body had no energy, no vitality? A brilliant idea is useless if you are too tired to act on it. A powerful dream fades if you lack the endurance to sustain the effort it requires. The greatest visions demand not only clarity and belief, but also a body that can carry them into reality. Now, discipline of the body is also discipline of rhythm. It means respecting rest as much as activity. Many believe discipline is only about pushing harder, but true discipline is balance. Knowing when to engage and when to restore. Without recovery, the stronger structure eventually crumbles. Rest is not weakness, it is preparation. So each day, treat your body as a sacred responsibility. Move it, strengthen it, nourish it, and allow it to recover. Do this not for vanity, not for appearances, but for mastery. Because a disciplined body is a reflection of a disciplined life. And when your body is aligned with your mind, you become unstoppable. Remember this: every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are not only shaping your body, you are shaping your character. And character, far more than talent or chance, is what determines destiny. So I leave you with this thought: if you cannot command your own body, how will you command your life? Begin with the smallest act of discipline today, and let that act ripple into every decision you make. Because when the body bows to discipline, the whole of life rises to meet it. In life, many people burn brightly for a moment and then fade into obscurity. They sprint with passion, only to collapse halfway through the race. Why? Because they confuse intensity with consistency. Intensity is seductive. It feels powerful in the moment. It gives the illusion of progress. But it is consistency, not intensity, that builds the architecture of a lasting life. No matter how strong you believe yourself to be, you cannot ignore the silent influence of your environment. People like to think they are entirely self-made, as if their choices are untouched by the world around them. But look closely, and you'll see that your